Now I'm going to be teaching you guys how to pick between an acoustic guitar and electric guitar and a classical guitar. All right, it's a lot like picking a bag of chips at a store. There's, you have your brands, but you also have to think about the carbs in it, the protein that you're going to get out of chips if all, yeah. So I just pushed that up. First, just think about what genre each guitar falls under. Classical guitar, as the name implies, is classical, and jazz and Italian music also fall under that. Of course, acoustic guitar is in country, folk, and pop, and you're going to hear acoustic guitar in all of those genres all the time, except maybe pop. And electric guitar is used in a ton of genres. The big ones being like rock, blues, jazz, soul, funk, and metal, of course. Of course, these aren't absolute. If you really want to, you could play a metal riff on your classical guitar, but most of the time, these are the genres that are going to be using these relative instruments. And so now we're going to talk about more of the technical side of each guitar. So here you have your classical. You can see that the neck, let me move over here for a second. You can see that the neck is wider, so you have more room to play the notes that you want to. And on your acoustic guitar, the neck is kind of is a little bit, it's a little bit thinner. So you're gonna have less room. For a classical guitar, they use nylon strings, which are a lot softer on your hands. So if you're a beginner and you want to start playing, this is probably the more this is the easiest one to pick up. For an acoustic guitar, you're going to be using brass or bronze strings, so it's a little bit harder to pick up. Nylon strings kind of make a more dull sound. They still sound pretty, but acoustic guitar strings, brass or bronze, make a more twangy sound that you hear. Right. All right, and electric guitars. As you can see, the neck is similar, but there's also the body in the way of the upper neck, so you can really get down there and hit those high notes pretty easily compared to an acoustic guitar. That's also why in an electric guitar is commonly used in leads and stuff like that. Okay, as you can see, the body is a little bit smaller than classical and acoustic guitars. And typically, since electric guitars deal with magnets, you want you want magnetic strings. So electric guitars use steel and nickel strings, which aren't as bad on your hands as an acoustic guitar, but they're still pretty rough, and they're going to leave calluses on your fingertips. And just to prove that the body size can vary wildly, I have this on the left side. Electric guitars, their bodies they're usually smaller, but they can be big. It doesn't really matter the size of the body, because the body isn't responsible for producing the sound that you're getting out of an electric guitar. And generally, when you want an electric guitar, you want to think about an amp too. There are two main types of amps. There's a solid state amp, which is a digital amp. It works with electronics. It can come with presets, but it's usually not used in venues. It's hard for it to get that loud for the price. And then you have a tube amp, which deals with glasswork, glass tubes inside of the amp. So yeah, they're pretty fragile, so they can break pretty easily, unlike a solid state amp. Yeah, and overall, try it out for yourself. I'm sure you guys have a friend or an acquaintance that has a guitar. If you want to try it out, I would try it from them. But also, you can just go to a music store. There's not a music store I haven't been to that doesn't let you try the instrument before you buy it. So there's always that too. Yeah, in conclusion, if you think about the genre of music you want to play, you think about the technical side of the guitar, and you think about going to try it before you like it, or before you buy it because you might not like it. It's a pretty simple process.